Yo, what in the world is going on with Kendrick Lamar in Bogotá, Colombia? The internet is in shambles. Fans are divided. And rumors are flying fast after a shock twist at an art gallery of all places. You heard that right. Before Kendrick even touched the stage for his highly anticipated, sold-out and historic Bogotá concert, he pulled up to a local art gallery, low-key, no press. No security detail visible, and what went down inside that building has everybody talking. Eyewitnesses claim the peaceful visit spiraled into chaos after a mysterious woman confronted Kendrick in the middle of a private viewing. Security tried to intervene, but not before voices were raised, tears were shed, and even a painting was allegedly damaged. Some say this woman is linked to Kendrick's past. Others say it's an artist from the gallery who called him out on selling out his message. Bro, what is even happening? But that's not even the wild parters later. Kendrick hit the stage with an unexpected message that has fans rethinking everything they thought they knew about him. Did this confrontation spark a personal breakdown? A political statement? A hidden agenda? Stay tuned, 'cause this one's about to get real messy. It all started just past noon in Bogotá's historic La Candelaria district. The sun was beating down on the cobblestone streets as word slowly began to spread. Kendrick Lamar was in the city. Fans had already been buzzing all morning, waiting outside the hotel where rumors said he was staying, but no one expected what happened next. With no major entourage, no paparazzi, and barely any visible security, Kendrick was spotted entering a small, underground art gallery known for political and Afro-Latino expressionism. At first, people thought it was just a quiet visit, maybe for inspiration before his big performance that night. But within 30 minutes, the energy shifted dramatically. A local artist named Alejandra Rosario, whose work was on display at the gallery, was already inside when Kendrick arrived. According to an eyewitness, she seemed stunned when she saw him walk in. She reportedly whispered to someone nearby, "Why is he here? He doesn't get to be here." What that meant, nobody knew at first. But what happened next has been described as explosive. Kendrick was said to be admiring a large, mixed media piece titled Diaspora Divine, a haunting portrayal of African diasporic struggle, merged with indigenous Colombian resistance. As he stood silently, Alejandra approached him not as a fan, but as someone clearly holding something heavy. According to a gallery staffer, the moment was tense from the start. She wasn't smiling. She looked like she had something to get off her chest. What followed was a heated exchange, not loud at first, but intense. No full video has surfaced, but multiple eyewitnesses posted fragments on social media. In one clip, you can hear her say, "You profit from pain you never lived." Kendrick appears to respond calmly, but his body language shifts. In another clip, his voice rises slightly. "I came here to listen, not be judged." She shoots back, "You came here to pretend." At that point, gallery staff tried to de-escalate the situation. Someone stepped in between them, but Alejandra wasn't backing down. In one unconfirmed moment, she allegedly pointed to her artwork and accused him of mining trauma for stadium applause. Fans who were nearby said Kendrick looked visibly shaken. Others say his expression was unreadable blank, like he was holding back a storm. And then something nobody expected happened. A loud crash, one of the paintings, a framed piece called Hunger Ghosts, had fallen to the ground and shattered. It's still unclear how it happened. Some say Alejandra knocked it over by accident as she stormed out. Others claim a fan trying to film the argument bumped into the display. But in that moment, chaos broke out. Security rushed in. People started shouting. Someone screamed, "He broke it." Though there's no footage proving Kendrick touched anything, it didn't matter. The damage was done literally and symbolically. Outside, fans and tourists gathered, trying to make sense of what they'd just witnessed. Rumors swirled online. Was this a publicity stunt? A staged confrontation? Or something deeply personal between the artist and the rapper? Within the hour, hashtags like #Kendrick in Bogotá and #GalleryGate began trending. Some people applauded Alejandra for standing her ground. Others accused her of clout chasing. But one thing was clear: the vibe around Kendrick's visit had changed as the gallery shut down for the day. A black SUV pulled up quietly. Kendrick exited the building with his hood up, head low, no words to the crowd. The only thing captured on camera was him briefly pausing at the door, looking back over his shoulder, and shaking his head slowly like something had just cracked open inside him back at his hotel. Sources close to the team said Kendrick didn't speak to anyone for over 2 hours. He stayed in his room, blinds closed, no sound. One insider, who chose to remain anonymous, said he's not just upset. It hit a nerve. He's been working on something big, and I think this threw him off balance. That same source hinted at unreleased music connected to themes of identity, displacement, and diaspora, suggesting that this confrontation might have struck closer to home than fans realize. Meanwhile, Alejandra Rosario posted a cryptic message to her Instagram story. A black screen with white text that read, "Truth don't need a beat." No tags. No explanation. But the message was clear enough. By the time evening rolled around, the entire city was buzzing. Local news picked up the story. International blogs were reposting the clips, and fans began debating what all of this meant. Was it a misunderstanding between two passionate artists? Or was this the unraveling of a bigger conversation about authenticity, appropriation, and accountability? But things took an even stranger turn when, just an hour before showtime, posters began appearing outside the concert venue. Hand-drawn sketches of Kendrick's face with the word "voyeur" written underneath in red ink. No one claimed responsibility. Some fans tore them down. Others took selfies with them. It only fueled the fire. Inside the stadium, tension hung in the air. Fans packed the space, unsure of whether the show would even happen. Kendrick's team gave no updates. The opening acts performed, but the headliner remained unseen. Whispers flew through the crowd. Some said he had left Colombia altogether. Others believed he was backstage rewriting his entire set list. And then, just as the clock struck 10:11 p.m., the lights went out. The stage remained dark for almost a full minute. No sound, just thousands of people holding their breath. Then, without warning, a single spotlight illuminated the stage, and there he was, Kendrick, no band, no dancers. Just him, standing completely still in a plain black hoodie. Mic in hand, staring into the crowd. His first words weren't lyrics. They weren't even part of a song, he said. "They told me not to come here. They told me I wouldn't understand. Maybe they were right, Dan. Maybe they were right." The crowd went silent. No one knew what to expect. Some people started crying. Others pulled out their phones. What followed wasn't a typical set. It was something else entirely: part concert, part spoken word, part confession. And the whole city was about to witness a side of Kendrick Lamar that had never been seen before. The next 10 minutes felt like a sermon, or maybe an exorcism. Kendrick stood center stage and let silence linger between each word. "I thought I was coming here to give something," he said slowly. "But maybe I came here to take something I didn't earn." The crowd was stunned. This wasn't the triumphant return of a rap king. This was something raw, something vulnerable, and something not everyone was ready for. He didn't launch into a hit song. Instead, he began reciting an unreleased verse, no beat, just his voice echoing through the stadium. They love the rhythm, but they fear the rage. They buy the struggle, but never the cage. Fans were frozen. You could see people looking at each other, unsure if they should clap or just listen. He paused again and added, "I've been preaching pain in a language that don't belong to me. Maybe I'm just another tourist with a better pen." Social media lit up instantly. People started calling the moment Kendrick's reckoning. Some were praising him for confronting hard truths. Others were asking if he was having a breakdown. But no one could deny this was a historic moment. And it felt completely unscripted. Then, after minutes of spoken word, the beat dropped. But it wasn't DNA. It wasn't all right. It was something new. Something no one had ever heard. The visuals behind him changed: slow-motion clips of Afro-Colombian families, burning sugar fields, children laughing in floodwaters. It was cinematic, emotional, and jarring. The hook hit hard. How you save the world when you've never been lost. How you write the gospel when you never paid cost. It wasn't a crowd pleaser. It was a mirror, and he was holding it up to himself. People in the front row could be seen crying. One woman mouthed, "Thank you." Another clutched her chest like she'd just heard a confession she wasn't expecting. Even the security guards looked like they were in a trance. It wasn't just a performance, it was a reckoning. And everyone knew it halfway through the show. Kendrick finally broke the tension with a line that had everyone's jaw on the floor. "I met a woman today who told me the truth, and I hated her for it." He didn't name Alejandra directly, but fans made the connection immediately. The camera panned to a small group in the crowd, where someone held up a sign that read, "We see you, Alejandra." The internet exploded again. People began choosing sides. Team Alejandra versus Team Kendrick. Some accused her of humiliating him in public. Others called her brave for speaking truth to power. But then a twist dropped that nobody saw coming. Someone leaked a voicemail, an audio message, allegedly from Alejandra to a mutual friend, in which she admitted she had been invited to the gallery specifically because organizers knew Kendrick might visit. She said, "I didn't plan to confront him, but when I saw him standing there like some messiah, I couldn't stay silent." Her tone was calm, but the implication was wild. Did someone set this up? Was Kendrick baited into this confrontation? Theories started spiraling. Some believed it was a publicity stunt, maybe to promote a new album or documentary. Others insisted it was authentic, that Kendrick had no idea she'd be there. A few conspiracy theorists even claimed the gallery itself staged the whole thing to gain international attention. Within hours, the gallery's Instagram gained over 200,000 new followers. Meanwhile, backstage tensions were still high. Someone close to the production claimed Kendrick got into a heated argument with his creative director after the set. The director allegedly said, "You're making this bigger than it needs to be." Kendrick reportedly snapped back, "This is bigger than me." Maybe that's the problem. Another insider said that after the show, Kendrick refused to do the planned meet and greet with local officials. He stayed in his dressing room for nearly an hour, pacing, hands on his head, repeating the phrase. They were right. People tried to comfort him, but he wasn't having it. He was spiraling, not in anger. But in introspection, what nobody knew at that point was that Alejandra had left the city, according to a source close to her. She received threats online after the confrontation. People accused her of disrespecting a legend. Others accused her of ruining a cultural moment. She reportedly packed her bags and left for Medellin with close friends that same night, avoiding the media and refusing all interview requests. Before leaving, she posted a final Instagram story, just a photo of the gallery floor where the painting had shattered. Captioned, "Some truths are louder when broken." Back in Bogotá, Kendrick's team made the decision to cancel all planned media appearances for the next day. No press, no interviews, no after parties. Fans waiting outside his hotel were met with silence. The energy had shifted. And yet, something about the chaos felt sacred, like everyone had just witnessed a cultural detonation, and the smoke was still clearing. But then, another twist hit the timeline. An old photo surfaced, a grainy, years-old image of Kendrick at a small art exhibit in Oakland, standing next to none other than Alejandra Rosario. The internet lost its mind. Had they met before? Was there history? Was this personal? Digging began. Fans found out that back in 2018, Alejandra had participated in an Afro-Latino artist residency in California. The same year, Kendrick was working on a now-shelved visual project rumored to center around Black Latin American identity. One Reddit user even claimed they saw the two of them talking for almost an hour at a gallery opening in La. The pieces started connecting. What if this wasn't a random confrontation? What if this was a long time coming? What if the woman who called him out wasn't a stranger, but someone who had once worked with or inspired him? By the next morning, every major music outlet was running stories. Headlines ranged from Kendrick's Bogotá breakdown to, was Kendrick Lamar called out by an old flame? The speculation was wild. Some said they had dated. Others believed she had ghostwritten parts of his abandoned documentary project. One particularly viral post claimed she had accused him of stealing imagery from her work in private years ago. But Alejandra remained silent. No new posts, no interviews, nothing. And Kendrick, he was reportedly seen walking alone near the edge of Mansura Mountain the next morning. No security, no entourage. Just him, headphones in, staring out over the city. One fan who spotted him from a distance said he looked haunted, but peaceful. That's when another leak happened. A text message thread between two supposed members of his team was posted to a private Discord and eventually made its way to Twitter. In it, one of them wrote, "He wants to go back to the gallery." The other replied, "Don't let him. It's not safe." But the first message said something that stopped everyone cold. He said he owes her a verse. The phrase "he owes her a verse" sent the internet into absolute overdrive. Fans, critics, bloggers, and even other rappers jumped in with their takes. Was it literal? Was Kendrick planning to release a track responding to everything that went down in Bogotá? Or was this deeper? Was it an emotional debt? Something unspoken between two artists with unfinished business? By midday, fan theories were out of control. Some were convinced a new project was imminent, possibly featuring Alejandra's voice or artwork. Others speculated that Kendrick had recorded something years ago, inspired by her. Ever released it maybe out of guilt, maybe out of fear. And then there were the wild takes, like one Twitter user who said, "What if this whole trip was orchestrated by him just to get her to speak again?" The tweet went viral, of course, because at this point, nothing seemed impossible. Then another twist. A new mural appeared overnight on the side of a building not far from the gallery. It was massive, hand-painted, and it showed two silhouettes facing each other, one clearly a woman, her afro haloed with gold. The other, a man with braided hair and a mic in hand. Between them, a shattered painting floated in midair. And across the bottom, in red paint, "Reparations come in verses." Nobody claimed it. Not the gallery. Not any local artists. But people online immediately tied it to the Kendrick drama. Some said it was a tribute. Others thought it was a warning. Either way, it went viral, and the photo ended up on the story of none other than Solange Knowles. Yes. Solange Knowles. Yes. Solange. And she didn't just post it. She captioned it too. "Art don't lie." That set off an entirely new storm. Solange and Kendrick had worked together before, and remember Weary and the 2016 visual projects? They were both part of that Afrofuturist renaissance in music and film. So her posting this mural, fans believed it meant she was choosing a side. Maybe she already knew about Alejandra. Maybe this was bigger than Bogotá. Maybe it was an industry secret finally bubbling to the surface. Meanwhile, back in Colombia, sources said Kendrick had gone completely off the grid. His phone was off. His team was panicking. He missed a scheduled private dinner with local activists. He canceled a documentary crew that had been following him for weeks. And in the middle of the chaos, he made one quiet move. He returned to the gallery. No press. No cameras. Just him and two team members. Gallery staff were caught off guard. They said he didn't speak much, just walked the perimeter, hands behind his back. He reportedly stood in front of the shattered remains of the painting called Hunger Ghosts and stayed silent for over 10 minutes. Then, before leaving, he asked a staffer for a notebook. Not a phone, not a laptop, a paper notebook. That detail alone had fans convinced he was writing something, and he wasn't done. Later that night, local reports claimed Kendrick was seen near a modest recording studio in the outskirts of Bogotá. Not a fancy one, not a label-affiliated one. A small underground spot known for protest music and youth activism. The producer who runs the space, known only as Dario Els, posted a blurry image of a hand holding a mic with the caption, "History in Progress." He didn't tag anyone. But fans matched the rings on the hand to a photo of Kendrick from earlier in the trip. It was enough. The timeline exploded again. Then, almost as if responding to the pressure, Alejandra broke her silence. A simple black and white photo appeared on her Instagram grid. It showed a blank sheet of paper with one sentence written in handwriting. "I said what I said. Now let's see if he listens." The caption. No caption. Just a red circle emoji. That one post got over 1.2 million likes in 6 hours. Comments were a war zone. Some people praised her for holding her ground. Others begged her to collaborate with Kendrick. A few trolls accused her of milking the moment, but her supporters shut that down quickly. One comment with 200K likes read, "Men cry revolution until a woman speaks louder than the beat. Then, in a move no one saw coming, an audio snippet leaked. No one knows how it got out. Some say it was an intern. Others think it was intentional. Either way, it was only 37 seconds. But it sent chills through the internet. Kendrick's single quotes as voice, raw and urgent, layered over a minimal drum pattern and distant guitar strums. My tongue been blessed and cursed by the gods per. I built cathedrals with verses. Still sleepin' fraud, she called my mirror a myth. Now, I'm digging for flaws. Did I quote the struggle, or did I steal the applause? That was it. Censure T seconds. And just like that, the culture was split again. One side declared it a masterpiece in the making. People were already calling it his most honest work yet. But others weren't convinced. They felt the line between apology and performance was too thin. Was this reflection? Or was this just another repackaged redemption arc wrapped in good production? Meanwhile, Alejandra didn't respond, but her friends did. A fellow artist from her collective, Camilo Cruz, posted a statement. "We've been making art about this pain long before your fave rappers flew in first class to witness it. Now it's profitable. Now it's poetic. But for us, it's personal." The message was clear. They weren't impressed by fame. They weren't asking for cosigns. They were asking for integrity then. Yet another layer to the drama emerged, a voice note from a well-known Afro-Colombian activist, Louisa Mar, who claimed that 3 years ago, a US-based artist asked to borrow some footage of Afro-Colombian protests for a music visual and never credited the source. While she didn't name names, fans began speculating it could be linked to Kendrick's now-deleted 2020 project teaser that featured similar imagery. Things were getting heavier by the hour. What began as a concert trip had morphed into a cultural tribunal. Kendrick remained silent for the rest of the week. But the leaks continued. Someone close to the situation posted a cryptic tweet. "He's writing something that'll either make history or break." And that's where the story stood in a razor's edge. Was he truly confronting his legacy, or was he trying to rewrite it? One thing was clear. The verse he owed Alejandra might end up being the most important piece of music he's ever made. 3 days later, Bogotá was still buzzing. The concert had ended, but the aftershocks were everywhere. Murals, tweets, Instagram stories, headlines, think pieces. The city had become a living debate about art, ownership, and accountability. Kendrick hadn't spoken publicly since the leaks. Alejandra remained silent too. No one really knew what was coming next until a surprise live stream changed everything, just after midnight. Unannounced and with zero promo, a black screen appeared on Kendrick's official YouTube page. The title was one word: dialogue. No intro. No flashy visuals. Just a dimly lit shot of Kendrick sitting alone in a chair, camera slightly shaky, eyes locked forward. The energy was heavy. You could almost feel him breathing. He began without greeting anyone. "This ain't a rollout. It ain't a single, it's a confession." His voice was steady but low, like he was choosing every word with surgical precision. "A few days ago, I met someone who held a mirror to my soul and didn't flinch. I flinched. I folded. I got defensive. I felt exposed, and instead of listening, I tried to perform." He paused, rubbed his hands together, looked down, then back at the camera. She wasn't wrong. You could hear gasps in the comments. Thousands were flooding in every second. Fans, haters, scholars, other rappers. It felt like the entire internet had pulled up to watch one man bleed publicly. There's lines I wrote in the past I wouldn't write today. Visuals I approved that weren't mine to frame. Inspiration I took that I didn't always credit. Not because I was trying to steal, but because I didn't know how deep the roots really went, and that's on me. He didn't name Alejandra, but everyone knew this was for her. And for the culture she represented, then came the real shocker. Kendrick said he had already recorded a full verse in the Bogotá studio, raw, unedited, emotional. But after sitting with it, he decided not to release it. It wasn't real, he admitted. It was me trying to fix the narrative. Not feel the truth. What he said next blew minds. So instead of dropping a track, I sent it. To her, the chat went wild. People couldn't believe it. He wasn't uploading it. He wasn't monetizing it. He had personally sent the verse to Alejandra Rosario and deleted the master copy from the studio servers. That's hers now, he said. To do with as she sees fit, bro. The internet melted. You could literally feel fans split down the middle. Some were praising him for doing something completely against industry norms, giving away the music, the ownership, the power. Others were furious. We supported you through everything, and you keep it private, one fan wrote. Another tweeted, we've been waiting for you to speak, and now we don't get to hear it. But Kendrick wasn't done. I've been rewarded for pain that wasn't always mine. I've built careers on borrowed reflection. And I'm not asking for applause. I'm asking for space. To unlearn. The stream ended abruptly. Just static. No links, no merch, no promo, no announcement of new music. Just silence. And then Alejandra finally responded. Within an hour of the live stream, she posted a photo to her story. It was a blurry Polaroid of a notebook page with a verse scribbled in handwriting that wasn't hers. The caption, heard you. Now what? Brew, heard you. Now what? Brew. The internet went nuclear. Theories exploded again. Was this her way of saying she received the verse? Was she going to release it herself? Was this the beginning of a collaboration or the end of something before it even began? Some insiders say Kendrick's team is panicking behind the scenes. A source close to Top Dog Entertainment claimed the label wasn't informed about the live stream or the deletion of the master file. He's gone rogue, they allegedly said. He's making emotional decisions, not business ones. Another exec reportedly said, we can't protect him from art. Others in the industry were watching closely. Erykah Badu tweeted a cryptic message. Truth is an instrument. Some folks learn to play it. Others become it. Frank Ocean posted a rare story, a black screen with the sound of crackling fire. Even J. Cole, Kendrick's longtime frenemy and rumored collaborator, liked to post about the live stream without comment. Fans took that as a sign of respect, or maybe a silent warning. But the biggest twist? Rumors are swirling that Alejandra might include the unreleased verse in her upcoming gallery show in Mexico City. Yes, she's got a solo exhibition scheduled. And word is, she's considering incorporating the audio as part of an immersive installation called Borrowed Blood. Insiders say the piece would feature projections of Afro-diasporic art, broken glass, and the unreleased Kendrick verse playing in a sealed sound chamber where visitors have to stand barefoot on cracked earth to hear it. People are losing their minds, one critic said. This could be the most radical artistic collaboration in hip-hop and contemporary art history, without ever becoming a song. Meanwhile, fans are starting to question everything. What is ownership in art? When does inspiration become exploitation? Can an apology exist without public proof? And the real question, did Kendrick do this for redemption? Or because he genuinely changed? Opinions remain divided. Some fans feel let down, like something was taken from them. They wanted the verse, the album, the comeback. Others believe this is the most powerful move he's ever made. A surrender of ego. A return to the essence. And Alejandra. She's made no further comment. No interviews. No media appearances. Just a new bio update on her website. It reads, "We are not your backdrop. We are the brush." As for Kendrick, he reportedly flew out of Colombia quietly the next day. No photos, no posts.